Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm V, and I'm so excited to share with you guys a book haul today. I was on a book buying ban because I literally have so many books in my TBR that I own that I haven't read yet, and so I should not be buying more books by all means. But Black Friday came around and I think that's the perfect excuse, okay? All of these books that I got were discounted, and not only were they Black Friday discounted, but I got them from, some of them, from a site that already discounts books all year round, new hardcover books. So, you know what? I think that's a great excuse to end the book buying ban. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys all of these books. I'll share with you guys the website, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So this is a haul of 18 books, but I'm going to start with the books that I got from Amazon that are not from the discounted website, but I did get them on Black Friday, so they still were a better price than original, but very excited for these books. The first one, drumroll please, is, oh, I'm so excited for this. Let me just, okay. Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm so excited to read this for multiple reasons. One, Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think I'll read anything that she writes. I literally love her books. Okay, I've read Daisy Jones and the Six, loved it, and then I'm currently reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm on page like 60. Love it so far. Those are the only books I've read of hers, but I already loved Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and I love Daisy Jones and the Six, so I'm pretty darn sure I'm gonna love this too. And the reason I'm so excited to read this is because this is about a tennis star. So Carrie Soto is like a Grand Slam champion, and she's been retired for 6 years, but she witnesses someone else, a younger athlete, taking her tennis record, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and she wants to make a comeback. She wants to reclaim that record, and her dad is like her tennis coach, and it gives me a lot like of Serena Williams, Venus Williams vibes, like for tennis. And my sister and I, my twin sister and I, were literally named after Venus and Serena Williams. So a lot of my life I've just been very interested and intrigued by tennis. I am by no means good at tennis. I play it recreationally in the summer for fun, and I absolutely love playing it. It's such a fun sport. And yeah, I've never read a book about a tennis player or a tennis star or anything like this of the sort. I don't think I've read a book about an athlete or anything like that. So I'm so excited to read this. It'll be a new experience, and I've heard great things about this. So this is the first book I got and very excited about it. This next book is probably one of the most popular books right now. It's just recently released, and it's It Starts With Us by Miss Colleen Hoover. I read It Ends With Us really recently. I read it in a vlog, in fact, my 24-hour readathon challenge. So if you want to see my thoughts on that book, you can check that out if you want, or my live reactions. But I loved that book. I didn't expect the plot twist that happened because I did not know going into It Ends With Us what I was supposed to expect. And so it caught me by surprise, like everything in that book. But this essentially picks up right where It Ends With Us left off. And as soon as It Ends With Us finished, I was like, I want the rest of the story. I want Lily and the love interest in this story. I don't want to spoil anything from It Ends With Us, but I want to see how it ends. I hope it ends well. I have a feeling it will end with the person I want it to end with, but there's some speculation, but I needed to read this. I need to read this as soon as possible. So I'm very glad I was able to pick it up. It's a really like thin book. I wonder how many pages it is. Oh yeah, it's like 300 pages. I think this is like one of the shortest books that I own. But yeah, that's good. That means it'll be a quick read. Maybe I should read this year so that it'll be a quick read that I can check off for my Goodreads challenge because I'm behind on it. So yeah, okay, I know this is minor, but I do not like this on the cover. It looks like a sticker that you should be able to peel off, but it's not, and I don't like how it looks. Is that just me? Is that like, I don't know, I don't like it, and it's not a sticker, so I can't like peel it off, but whatever. Every ending has a beginning. Anyway, yeah, very excited for this. This is one of the ones I got on Amazon. Okay, this next book I'm really excited to read. It's Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, and I'm buddy reading this with Taylor here on YouTube for the month of December, and I'm so excited. This is on both of our TBRs. I literally have been wanting to read this for so long. It's a little intimidating. It's a 500-page book, so a little intimidating, and I don't read a lot of fantasy. Like I've read like the Cruel Prince series recently and Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone, but the thing about me is that like sometimes all of the like world building and all the information like confuses me. Like I don't know, like it's just intimidating sometimes to like see a high fantasy. I think this is a high fantasy. I don't know if this is high fantasy actually. I don't really know how to explain it, so I'll quickly read the blurb. Basically, a formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations, a son destined to lead, thrust suddenly into power, 3 fierce young women of the Raton, the Queen's premier guard, a legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself, a dark secret that is a threat to the entire continent. When outlaw leader meets reformed thief, a cat-and-mouse game of false moves ensues, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. Yeah, I don't really know what this is about. I don't know, but it has thieves in it, and I love a book with thieves, okay? So I will probably love this. and like I love the whole outlaw vibe and all of that. I don't really know exactly what it's about, but it's an adventure. It sounds exciting, and the cover is just gorgeous. Like, please, that is stunning. So very excited to have this. The last Amazon book is by an author tuber here on YouTube, very popular, Abby Emmons, and I love her content. I love her videos so much. She is a fellow romance writer, and I write romance, so I connect to her a lot. And this is her book, 100 Days of Sunlight. I have not read it. I know, what rock am I living under? I have not read her book, but it sounds so good. I'm pretty sure it's a Sunshine Times grump trope, and that is like my favorite trope. I love a Sunshine Time grump trope. I'm literally writing a book that's a Sunshine Times grump trope. Love it. Basically, the main character's name is Tessa, and she loses her eyesight, and she's like a blogger or whatever. She loses her eyesight for 100 days, and to be able to continue her blog, they hire a typist for her, and they hire Weston, who's a love interest, and he's the sunshine. He's like bright and everything, but he has no legs. But the condition, he says, if he's gonna work for her, is that no one can tell Tessa, the main character, that he has no legs. And because of that, because she can't see him and she can't see his disability, she treats him like she would someone who doesn't have a disability. So, and since she's like the grump in this, like, you know, she'll say like yell at him and stuff like that. Like, she'll treat him like that because she does not know that he has a disability, and he likes that. He likes being treated for who he is or whatever, and not for like his disability. I feel like I'm explaining that really badly, but I'm gonna read the little last part here on the back. Tessa spurns Weston's obnoxious optimism, convinced that he has no idea what she's going through, but Weston knows exactly how she feels and reaches into her darkness to show her that there is more than one way to experience the world. As Tessa grows closer to Weston, she finds it harder and harder to imagine life without him, and Weston can't imagine life without her. But he still hasn't told her the truth, and when Tessa's sight returns, he'll have to make the hardest decision of his life: vanish from Tessa's world or overcome his fear of being seen. Does that not sound so moving? Like, I feel like this is just gonna be such a heartfelt book, and I'm so excited to read this. It's also very thin, but it's like tall. So how many pages is this? Yeah, 300 pages. So this is another really short read. But I got this because I'm gonna be doing an upcoming video where I read a bunch of author tubers books for a week. So stay tuned for that video. And some of the books in this haul are other author tuber videos. Books. So yeah. That was the last Amazon book. These next few books, you guys, I got from Book Outlet. If you're curious, I'll put like the original price of how much you would pay for them, the Book Outlet price, and then the Black Friday price. All of these for Black Friday I got for $7.49. Amazing. But I know Black Friday's over, so if you guys want to know what the discounted price would be, just like all year round or whatever, I will show you the price. The website is constantly updating because they're getting new shipments, and you know, some books are getting out of stock and things like that, so it's worth it to check back every week. So if you're anything like me, you're probably like so curious, how are they getting such low prices for books that are brand new? And they have an explanation on their website, which is great. But basically their books come from publishers' excess inventory or store returns or special buys. So it's literally cover to cover, and sometimes publishers, like, they'll mark the book with like a little bit of marker. I'll show you when I get the books, to show that it's excess inventory and that it could be sent off to Book Outlet, which then resells it to us for a lower price. Or there will be minor wear and tear, like a bent page or something like that. So if you want to purchase on their website, definitely read about that if you want to, but it's so cool that they're reselling us these books because we get new books for a lower price, and I absolutely love it. And there's some really, really good finds on there. So the first one that I got, and it's been a book I've been meaning to read for so long, is Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Not only do I love a good book, but I love a good romance, and I'm so excited to read this because it's enemies to lovers, my favorite trope ever, and I love books about people in like the book industry. Emily Henry is such a well-known author. She's written books like Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation. I've read Beach Read, I loved it, and that book was about writers, so I absolutely adored that book. And this is about a literary agent and a book editor, so I'm sold already. And basically the main character's like little sister convinces her to go on a sister trip during the month of August, and she keeps bumping into him, and you know, they don't get along and stuff like that, yada yada yada. I'm so excited. I don't even know what this is really like about like the plot or whatever, but I'm so excited to read this. And I literally got it for $7.49. That's crazy. Also, what I was talking about before about the marks, you can see it right there. That's the mark that shows that it's excess inventory from a publisher. So kind of cool. I am literally so excited for this next, I can't even speak because that's how excited I am. I'm so excited for this next book, which is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and also gorgeous cover. Have to put that out there. I love when a cover is gorgeous. This is like a Romeo and Juliet retelling. Literally the main character's name is, let me check. Juliet, and the love interest is Roma, and it just sounds so good. It's literally about these two rival gangs. Juliet's the head of one, Roma's the head of the other one, and they had a past where they were in love, but then Roma betrayed her or something, and they're rivals, but something freaky deaky is starting to happen, and everyone's like, ah! And so Juliet and Roma have to work together. Ugh, that just sounds so good. And it's set in Shanghai. Anything set in Shanghai immediately interests me because it's just so pretty. So like, I'm so excited to read this. Okay, this next one's really interesting, and it's All of Us Villains. I say it's interesting because it's not something that I would generally pick up. I don't usually read dark books, but this sounds really intriguing, so I had to pick it up. And I heard what it could become to, and I was like, I'm sold, which is The Hunger Games with Magic. Literally, put it in the cart, check it out, sold. I am so sold. The little blurb is, every generation at the coming of the blood moon, 7 families in the remote city of Ilvernath each name a champion to compete in a secret tournament to the death. The prize, exclusive control over a secret wellspring of high magic, the most powerful resource in the world, one thought long depleted. But this year, a salacious tell-all book has exposed the tournament and thrust the 7 new champions into the worldwide spotlight. The book also granted them valuable information previous champions never had, insight into the other family's strategies, secrets, and weaknesses. And most important, it gave them a choice: accept their fate or rewrite their legacy. Either way, this is a story that must be penned in blood. That sounds so good. I'm really excited to read this. Guys, this next book is part of the video I'm going to do about reading AuthorTuber's books for a week, but it's Blood Like Magic by the Queen, Lizelle Sambury. I'm so excited to read this. So many of my friends have read this book, and I've seen it all over Book Talk and Bookstagram and everything, and I'm so excited to read this. The premise sounds so interesting. Basically, it follows a teen witch who, to save her family's magic, has to sacrifice her first love. Problem is, she's never been in love, so she has to find a guy, fall in love with him, and sounds very interesting, honestly. It's a huge book. Looks like it's about 500 pages, but I read the first page of this because on Goodreads, sometimes there's like a little preview button and you can read like the first page of books, and I usually read those if they're there so I can see if I'd like the style of writing before I add it to my TBR. And this is a book where I did that, and I literally was so intrigued just by the first like page. So I'm really excited to read this, and I know it's gonna be really good, and the cover is so pretty. The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black is the next book that I got from Book Outlet, and this is the third installment of the Cruel Prince trilogy. I literally recently read The Cruel Prince and then the second book, which is The Wicked King, and I'm so invested in this series. I love it. The author's so good at leaving every single book on a cliffhanger, so now I really need to read The Queen of Nothing, and I also need to read this as soon as possible because The Cruel Prince is heavy. Like, everything in it, like, there's so much to remember that I know that if I wait too long to read this, I'm gonna forget so much important, vital information, so I'm reading this as soon as possible. She's also thin, another 300-page book. It is long though, but gonna say I love the cover for The Cruel Prince and The Wicked King. Not super a fan of this one and the colors on it. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not. But either way, I'm excited to read this, and I'm excited to see how she's gonna wrap up this series. Okay, this next book that I got is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'm so excited to read this. I've been wanting to read this. Here's the thing though, this book has 2 covers. It has this one, and this one is the version that the author had to make changes in so that it could be traditionally published, while the first one was her self-publishing one, I think, or whatever. So this one has like some changes in it. I hope that it's still really good. I know Haley Pham has this version and she absolutely loved it. So I hope that this is really good, and I hope that the changes are good changes. I wonder what she changed, but I'm so excited to read it. The cover is so pretty. I love anything with black and gold. I'm like, done. That's a great combination. But I'll quickly read what it's about because it's hard for me to like explain it. That's so pretty. It has like a picture in the inside. Each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to earn a place in the Alexandrian Society, the foremost secret society in the world. The chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams, but at what cost? Each of the 6 newest recruits has their reasons for accepting the society's elusive invitation, even if it means growing closer than they could have imagined to their most dangerous enemies or risking unforgivable betrayal from their most trusted allies. They will fight tooth and nail for the right to join the ranks of the Alexandrians, even if it means they won't all survive the year. This sounds so good. Next, we have The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. I literally love Karen M. McManus. I read One of Us is Next and One of Us is Lying. Loved both. In fact, those were 2 books that were kind of a part of, well, One of Us is Next was kind of a part of breaking my reading slump. So very grateful for that book. I love her writing style, and her mysteries are so gripping. And usually I can't guess her plot twist. I could guess it for One of Us is Lying, well, part of it, but One of Us is Next I didn't see coming. So I'm really, really intrigued. This one is about 3 cousins. cousins who barely know each other, and their grandma is like rich and reclusive, and she disinherited the parents of all three of these cousins, but they're invited to spend the summer at her island, and so their parents are like, yep, go, if we can get back into the grandma's good graces, whatever. So they go, and they learn that their family has dark and mysterious past and stuff happens. So yeah, I'm really intrigued. I want to read more thrillers during the winter because I feel like winter is perfect thriller, cozy season, you know, cozy up with like a hot drink, some tea or like hot chocolate and a blanket, and it's like a snowstorm outside and you're reading a thriller. I just think it's a perfect vibe. So I got quite a few thrillers, and I've been super into thrillers lately. So very excited to read this, and I love Karen M. McManus, so hopefully this is good. Keeping on the thriller bandwagon, I got The Cheerleaders by Kara Thomas, and it's a thriller where basically a bunch of cheerleaders died 5 years ago, and one of them was the main character's sister, and 5 years later she's noticing like weird things happening or something like that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like the premise of this book basically. I don't know much about it, but I've seen some booktubers recommend this book, and I'm so excited to read it. Again, like I said, I've been loving thrillers lately, so I really want to read more. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I just noticed that Karen M. McManus is the quote at the top of the book. You probably can't see that, but it says, "Sharp, brilliantly plotted, and engrossing." If our queen Karen M. McManus says that about this book, then that makes me 10 times more excited to read it, so yay. I might as well just show all the thrillers, right? Okay, a book just fell. I will get that later. This is the issue with having 18+ books and having to put them on the corner of the bed where no one can see them. But this next book is None Shall Sleep by Ellie Marney. I love the cover so much. I saw Just Allie on BookTube reading this, and she loved it, so I'm really excited to read it. And this is about two teenagers teaming up with the FBI to track down serial killers. Pretty sure that's the premise. Doesn't that sound really good? Like, that just sounds so good. I love a good psychological thriller. I hate watching psychological thriller movies because it's so creepy, because I'm like, that's like real life stuff. So I don't know why I like psychological thriller books, but I read The Silent Patient recently, which is a psychological thriller, and I love that book. So hopefully I'm gonna like this too. So this is The Ivies by Alexa Dunn, an author tuber. So this is gonna be my author tuber video. I might divide it into parts, so you might not see all of these in one video, but I'm really excited to read this. I think the concept is just so funny because it's like, it takes that obsession to like get into the college of your dreams to all new heights, because this is about a group of girls called the Ivies who will stop at nothing to get into the college of their dreams, even if it means killing people, hence the cover. So I think that just sounds like a really like funny, even though it's a dark book. Admissions are killer. That's the little tagline. I love it. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this, and I love the cover so much. It's so clever. The next book I got is by Sally Rooney, and it's A Beautiful World, Where Are You? Now, going into this, I don't have high expectations because I read Normal People, and while I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. I rated it a 3 stars, and I think that's because I'm really used to reading plot-driven books, and I'm kind of new into the world of fiction books or literary fiction or like more character-driven novels, so I was like kind of like dipping my toes into the water. So it's definitely something I want to reread in the future and see if I like it better after, you know, things have changed and things about me have changed and stuff like that. But I did like Normal People enough to want to try other books by Sally Rooney, so I do really want to try Beautiful World, Where Are You? I mean, it was rated 5 stars by the king of booktube, Jack Edwards. Can't say that I have similar reading style as he does, but I gotta try it and see what people like about this. But this book basically just follows 4 people and their lives. It's not a plot-driven book, so there's not much plot to it or much of a blurb. In fact, there's literally no blurb on this cover. But yeah, Sally Rooney has a really good writing style, though it's sometimes bland. Still really good, so I'm excited to read this and see what I think, and I love the cover so much. I think it's super cute. I'm so excited for this next book, and it's The Roughest Draft by Austin Siegmund Broca. I believe that's how you pronounce their name. I'm not too sure. But I want to read this similar to the reason I want to read Book Lovers, which is that it is a romance that follows 2 main characters in the book industry. Or sorry, no, these ones are in the writing industry, I think, kind of similar to Beach Read, where they're co-writers, and at the like height of their greatest success, they had like a fallout, but no one knows why. They didn't disclose it to the public. But they have 1 book left in their contract, so they have to reunite to like work on the book, and it gives me like a lot of angst vibes, enemies to lovers, and yeah, I'm just really excited to read this book. The last book in this haul is Yoke. Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi. First of all, look at that. That is so cool. I love that. That's so clever. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time. I found it from the Goodreads Choice Awards in I think last year, 2021. Yeah, I double checked. It is from Best Young Adult Fiction in 2021. And I'm so excited to read this. Of course, check the trigger warnings for this book before you read it because it talks about eating disorders, depression, and cancer. So definitely be sure to check the trigger warnings if you want to read this. But I'm very excited to read this. It's about two sisters, estranged sisters, who live very opposite lives, who switch places. I'm pretty sure the main character, well, maybe they're both main characters, I don't know. But Jane has like a so-so life, like a deadbeat boyfriend and not great friends and things like that. And then her sister June has like a really successful career and a really nice apartment and stuff like that, but gets diagnosed with uterine cancer, and that somehow drives these estranged sisters together. And there's like sister swapping going on, not too sure about that, but regardless, this just sounds really intriguing to me, so I can't wait to read this. I love that it's called Yolk and there's like a yolk for the O. It's just so clever. I love it. Also, the main character lives in New York. I will read anything set in New York. Thank you very much. I want to live there someday, maybe even if it's only for like a month or a year. It's just intriguing to me, so love that. And that is it for my haul, you guys. Oh my goodness, 18 books later. I'm really excited to read these. I'm going on a book buying ban now officially, okay, because my TBR shelf is literally full. Like, there is no more room. So I literally have no choice. I have to read these books before I buy other ones, but I'm very happy that I was able to get these slightly discounted, and I'm so excited for all of the books that I got, and I can't wait to read them. Please let me know your thoughts on the books that I got down below. If you've read it, if you're planning to read it, anything like that, let me know. I'm dying to know. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.